All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Jill Blanchett with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here with the second alternate for the March 2022 Beyond the Horizon Paper Pumpkin Kit. I will lift this up a little bit so you can see this is the kit. Well, that's not the kit. That's what the kit creates. And here is the second card that I have. So let's get started. The kit is going to use the leftover piece from the first card that we made, which was the window card. We're going to use the panel, the inside panel, or a piece of, I'm going to try using where the flap is and see if I can get it so that the crease doesn't show, so that you can use where the flap folds down. But we're going to use one of these envelopes as well. And that's about it. We'll have a little piece of paper for here. So the kit contents that I cut already look like this. Let me move these out of the way for now. So we're going to have a, oh, are you not seeing? I'm hoping you're seeing this. All right, I'm going to keep going. It didn't look like you might be seeing my video, so I will record it either way and get it up there. So I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of paper. You can score that at 5 1/2 or just fold it in half and burnish on that fold line. Okay. Then you're going to cut off 2 3/4 inches. Let's see if I can get everything to come crashing down out of my. So if you want to put the score line at 2 3/4, or you can just put the card at 2 3/4. Slice that off. We've got a piece of basic white that is 2 1/2 inches this way by 4 inches this way, because this paper is 4 1/4. So I did cut everything down to the 1/4 inch this time to make it easier for your cutting and gluing if you're doing this at home. So let's, I don't know why I grabbed this glue. You guys might know that I'm not a big fan of the green glue because I end up wearing it and getting it everywhere. So probably practice makes perfect. The more I use it, the better I get with it, I'm sure. But we're going to glue that down onto this flap. Oh, that's why I got the glue for the next step. And I didn't quite get that on there right. But then you want to take, I've got another piece that is just a little bit over 2 3/4 this way, because I want this flap to just come over the top of it a little bit. So it's 2 3/4 by 4. And it says like we know what something here in the word harvest. So you just want to make sure you're getting that on upside right. Go ahead and glue that down to the, I'm going to call it the inside of the card. Line it up. And before you stick it down, I just like to close my flap and kind of make sure that I've got it lined up with the other piece, and didn't get that on. I'm going to leave it. I didn't get the other piece on there quite right, but go ahead and glue that on. Then take your green glue, and I'm using the green here because I can get a thinner bead of it, and just put it along the outer side as close as you can get without going too heavy, because you don't want it to squish out. So I got just a real thin bead. And then this way, if you were making this card on your own, you could use a wider, this inner piece could be wider if you wanted, but go ahead and glue that down. I've been practicing on my card for tonight's video and I'm all blue. All right, then we've got our envelope that we're going to trim up. And we want that to be let's see, we went 2.5. We want it 2 1/4 inches wide. And then the card was 4 1/4. We cut that one to 4. So we want this one to be 3 3/4, but we need to cut off a little bit of the edge because you could see the pattern doesn't go all the way to the edge. So we want this one to be 3 3/4. And then we can go ahead and glue that to the front. I was playing with this beforehand, so I've already tried to burnish out that fold mark. And I'm going to put it up at the top so that it's covered by the layered piece that we're going to put on. So then we're going to glue that on top of there. And now we've built the base. We're going to, I'll go to the inside next. So the inside is, let me tell you exactly, 2 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches long. And then we've got another inside piece that's 2 1/2 by 4 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Here. Go ahead and punch a hole in the center area. Feed your ribbon through. And this is some retired old olive wide grosgrain ribbon that we used to carry. So then I tied the little bit of the linen thread around it to make a knot. And then with the leftover card from the first one that we made, I went ahead and trimmed that off right about where the first card ended. And then I just trimmed it into just a little rectangle, like so. And then if you do this piece first, you might get a bigger piece for the leftover, but I did this one first, so either way works. And then I just put that in the center. I eyeballed the center, and then I just adhered that down just to jazz up this tag a little bit. That will slip right inside. And this is where I said if you put more glue on it, you'll glue it in more shut. So the more glue you went, then the smaller this piece was. So like I said, I got the glue right on the outside so you could see how far over I could make this card that much wider to slide in there. So it could come way over here, but I didn't because this little one on the top, I figured then you could see too much of the words on the top. So we've got a top piece here that goes on, and this measures 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. So we want to take our leftover piece of card, and we got to trim that to 2 inches. And then we want to trim off the bottom to start. Get some of that white gone. Then we need it to be 4 inches. So it depends if you want more sky or more grass at the bottom. I'm going to cut a little bit more of the grass off. And then I'm going to cut up here. And we're going to glue that onto like this. Oh, geez, did I cut it wrong? No, I did not. I cut this too small. So I need to cut a little bit more off. Let's see what I cut the white to. That'll help me because I forgot I cut the white way smaller. So I got the white at 2 inches by 3 7/8. So I need this to be 1 7/8. Because I did cut it down to the 1/8. Because I only wanted a little bit of border by 3 7/8. So we want to go 3 3/4. Well, that doesn't sound like that's going to be right. I guess it is. I don't know why that doesn't look like that's too much. Let me just see. Nope, go with your measurements, Jill. You know what you got to cut. It just looked like it was going to be way too much, and then that's going to be too short. So we're going to glue that onto the white. And again, I got it cut on the 1/8 inch. And then this is the 1/4 inch. So then glue this layer onto the old olive layer. Like so. And then we're going to glue that onto the front. Once that is in there, we'll glue that onto the front so that we know where we want to put it. So you want to put your adhesive just on the lower part. So like from the mountain down. So we'll go like three strips of glue. And that looks kind of centered in there. Like so. And we'll come on here and try and center that on here. Glue that on down here. And then if you want a sentiment, you can add one by, there's a little piece in your kit. Go ahead and use navy blue. I got Night of Navy, or I just snagged it for another card for tonight. So, oh, I do have it here. Let's see. No, I don't like the black. I am going to get the navy. Right here. And then you would cut this out, fussy cut this out. I'm not going to fussy cut it. You know how to do that. I'm going to just, you could do it like this as well. You could just trim it up with your trimmer and then pop that up across the top like that, kind of like this. Or actually you could dip this into embossing powder and give it a nice little touch by heat embossing it with clear powder. And that would give it a nice touch too. So there we go. There's our second card for the March Paper Pumpkin Kit.